technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Make your move fun and easy with the help of Movers and Shakers. Movers and Shakers is homegrown, female-led, and ready to help make your transition to a new space as seamless as possible. They excel at residential and commercial moving jobs, as well as offer home cleanouts and junk removal services. Moving into a new place is stressful enough, so let Movers and Shakers ease the transition. Give them a call today at 712-899-6265 or book your move online at www.moversandShakersNE.com today.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Make bill paying a breeze with Text to Pay. LES texts you 1 week before your bill's due date. Just reply to the text to pay. It's that easy. Log into your account at les.com to sign up today.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy July 3rd/4th. It's already been July 4th out, around here in Lincoln. I've been hearing fireworks since last week, but we are bringing some fireworks. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. We are Old School. We're the new Old School. Brought to you the new school way. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients, a butcher shop. 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Old Cheney, so that's Andre Matt, and 168th and Maple up there in the O or the Metro. It's crazy. I was thinking, Austin, seems like yesterday it was -40, and it just was like January 3rd, and we was kicking off 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Now, officially, we're halfway through, I think.
Officially. Yeah,
we're halfway through the year. And it's hot right now. It's 96 degrees or something like that outside, so a lot of stuff is going on. And then, obviously, festivities are going to be going on, and people are going to be in a celebratory mood. I'm looking forward to, firing up the grill. We'll get to that. Ticket listeners, we want you to text in. Tell us what your fondest 4th of July memory is, but more importantly, what are you throwing on the grill, or what do you look forward to somebody else throwing on the grill, or what do you like to eat in gluttony this weekend? Because you get a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you don't get it all in, maybe even the night, Friday or Saturday or Sunday, take Monday off. You'll be good. But a little bit of football news, I think, keep it in the July 4th. I want you guys also to text in who needs to provide the most fireworks on Nebraska's team in order for the team to reach their standard/expectations of the fans and the people that judge the team or whatever. What are they called? Prognosticators?
Prognosticators, we can go with that. Forecasters,
knuckleheads.
Phil Steele types.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Austin, I'll go first. Who has to have the fireworks? I'll probably, I'm going to say Emmett Johnson.
Okay. I like it.
And I think,
I like it.
And I think because, Emmett's obviously dependent on the offensive line, but I think it's real simple. He's got to answer the bell every game, and he's got to be really consistent.
Mhm.
And then, when he called upon to be great, I think every game he needs to be good, and called upon, he's going to have to be great. And if he can do that, then that's the fireworks that Nebraska needs, and that will lead them to, probably 8+ wins.
I'm a little surprised you went offense.
Well, I was going to get defense next.
Okay. Where do you go on defense then?
I'm just gonna do one position group. I'm gonna say a defensive line.
Mhm.
And I'll probably say if I had to pick a guy or two, I would say Judy / Van Poppel. Look, Ty Robinson and Nash and Jamari Butler and James and all those guys logged a lot of minutes and a lot of plays and was around for a long, long time. Very, very older seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Very dependable, very consistent, and reliable. And so just naturally, there's going to be drop off. That's just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the defense and for the team to do well, I think they, from the end of spring or whenever they really had their last, legit week of practice through the summer and then starting in fall camp, they've had to get better.
Mm-hmm.
That means they've had to improve from then to, I guess in a few weeks. If they did that, then when they start two-a-days or fall camp or whatever you want to call it, going into the season, then you're at or a little bit ahead of the curve in order for not the fall off to be like, well, Ty and Nash and all those guys are gone. They left the transfer portal. Nebraska needs to go and get 25 linemen out of the portal.
Mm-hmm.
The whole group has to, take that mantra of getting better. Primarily those two. One, because both of them have played some minutes, and they're two different players. Judy's older. He's been waiting to hopefully take the reins of that defense line room. And then Van Poppel is the guy that has the body type, the DNA obviously with his dad, and then obviously the opportunity to be the next one in line. And then everybody else will follow their lead.
I was going to start on defense in terms of fireworks. I get the Riley Van Poppel pick. I think he's going to be a guy that makes important plays, but I don't know if he's going to have a big year in the traditional counting stats department.
Yeah, because not like Ty, where it's like
right, just kind of he'll play his role. He'll come up with some big plays when Nebraska needs them. But I don't see him, putting up, 8+ sacks necessarily. Right. Which doesn't say he won't be good. I think he will be a solid to good player for Nebraska. I think if I'm looking at the defensive line or pass rush group, either Cam Lenhart or Dasan McCullough. I don't know why Dasan McCullough wants to just play edge, or if that's a Nebraska decision. They better be right. Nebraska's been looking for a guy in that position with that sort of frame to make a difference off the edge for a while. They haven't found it. And I'm curious to see how Cam Lenhart responds to, a bit of an incognito sophomore year.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to prove. I think the talent is there for him to do something. I think when I think of fireworks on the defense, I think of Shavers. I really do.
He's going to be the M80.
Exactly. If he takes that next step in his development, we saw some of those M80 flashes from him last year, especially late. Yeah. I think he's probably the most, apt to be the fireworks guy, if you ask me right now. And then if you have to pick one in the defensive backfield, Sierra Wright's got to live up to the promise. He flashed onto the scene right when Tommy Hill went down with the injury. Did a good job for the most part.
He competed.
Absolutely
That's
did.
Number one, he played. He competed.
Played tough. He absolutely did. And I'm not gonna say Tommy Hill was just a flash in the pan, but the injury kind of sapped it, and I don't think he lived up to the promise, the expectations in his senior year as he did during his junior year. So I think if Sierra Wright can deliver back-to-back solid seasons, that absolutely goes a long way for Nebraska. Bada Bing went the same way I did on offense. Ja'Cory Barney. He says, I agree with Emmett, but I think Ja'Cory Barney will be a huge part of this offense and special teams. He's a straight dog. I've seen him get hit and jump back up like nothing happened. You need that with returns. I think for Nebraska's offense to be its most versatile, Ja'Cory Barney's got to avoid that sophomore slump. I think they know what they have in Dane Key. Hopefully better production than he got from Jamal Banks a year ago. But, Barney in the slot, if that's where he finds his home, maybe you can spread him out wide a couple times. I think Ja'Cory Barney can be a difference maker. We'll see what they get from Isaiah Hunter, who I think is in that conversation as well.
Yeah.
But my mind first and foremost went to Ja'Cory Barney on offense.
Oh, I mean, I can agree with that. I think he, when you had you maybe a little bit higher volume of receptions, your first year, you're thinking you need to have maybe 10 or 15 more the next year. For him, considering say if Dane Key is if he is who he's supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then Hunter is who he's supposed to be, and then you have Mills and then what's the young kid from Kansas City,
Mosey.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he looked good, and then you got tight end and Emmett's that counts in that, and you got Bonner, Carter Nelson. You got a lot of ifs, but so if I'm Ja'Cory Barney, now I'm thinking, okay, how much more efficient can I be with maybe a little bit less targets? Can my yards per catch go up? Can my explosive play rate per catch or per touch go up?
Yeah.
And then can I also kind of make those non-reported plays dictate coverage to lead to a big play? If that's the mentality, then he is the fireworks, because I think it's him and Emmett that go hand in hand. They're going to be the ones that do the most damage in the middle of the field. Emmett's the same. Touches per game and how efficient you are. So every game that, like when you think of Iowa, Wisconsin, or whatever it is, since Coach Holgrimson get here, that's what you got to expect every game. Now, it might not be number for number.
Mm-hmm.
You could have 12 touches, but we need the same production.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of things are dependent on perimeter blocking and all that, opportunity as well. But I think is the one where you think a consistency is going to be the thing that Nebraska needs on both sides of the ball, but in particularly on offense. And you have to be consistent both in your preparation, execution during the weekend and then the game, because number one, your best defense is a consistent and efficient offense, and your best defense your best offense is going to be a defense that's going to continue to grow week in and week out. And if guys are having a ton of opportunity, you got to think. You talked about McCullough. Then you got, was it Nowori, the big defensive end that came from Missouri. You think of some of the other, defensive linemen and freshmen. I think Cam Lenhart is the little that I've seen him. I've seen him actually, at the mall. He looks focused and ready. I think he's very aware of year one to year two, and that's really 90% of the battle for guys. Because not only just athletes, people always go back to, my freshman year, and that's sometimes where we talked about Adrian Martinez being the, all that, and the best freshman, ever. Sometimes I'm gonna say this, but I don't mean it word for like what it's gonna come out like. It could be a detriment playing so well as a freshman. Like where you pretty much, when Adrian was here, it was pretty much this dude's gonna win the Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like, we're only gonna have him for 3 years. We got to go amp up our recruiting because we got to get other. So once you start putting that out there, then that just starts. Then you start to get the glazed over look when you actually start coaching them hard. Or and Adrian was always receptive of being coached hard, so I shouldn't say that. But then I think what you're speaking to though is that a lot of guys will see their freshman year, oh yeah, this is just my baseline now, instead of having to try to push that baseline forward, where maybe their production is 10 to 15% less because of volume, because of circumstances, whatever it is, but maybe they grade out better. And I don't think that we see that consistently across the board. Is that, oh, my numbers went down, I played worse. When really sometimes you can have, slightly fewer stats, but did you hold yourself to that standard? And that's probably hard for a freshman coming in when you're in a culture that hasn't prioritized winning or hasn't resulted in winning in a long time. You can tell yourself X, Y, and Z, but until it actually comes true on the field, that's the human thing to do, is rely on, hey, I did this, I'm going to get this every year. I'm good, right? I'm a hero. I had a really good year. Listen to the way people are talking about me. It's A, human, B, understandable, and C, incredibly dangerous. Yeah, I think one of the biggest detriments or biggest letdowns that happened with or around Adrian is two things. One, and it had nothing to do with him. He came in and knocked it out of the park. But on that team, which I think was probably the best offense when Scott was here, you had Stanley Morgan, Who was it? You had
JD,
Divine, who took off, right? And then you had Adrian, probably had the best offensive line, and when Scott was here, and then I think Jack Stoles was here too. And
I think so.
Remember they had like 85 tight ends, and all of them were pretty good. And the defense was a little bit better too, right? So I think, and then everybody thought, then those guys went on to the league. Well, then that great freshman year, everybody was like, oh. Now his second year, which is great, he's going to be even better, but didn't have the supporting cast. So then they started, put like Heisman expectations on him, and then also I think subconsciously, I think maybe like the coaches or like maybe the recruiting department really was like, all right, give it to Adrian, he'll figure it out. So some of them plays he was making was a byproduct. They was like, we knew Adrian going to make something happen eventually. You knew Adrian was good enough off schedule. You remember Oklahoma and all that, down there. It's 3, maybe 2 to 4 times a game. You were like, dang, dude ran over here, ran over there, throw it 40 yards. Right? Those are like stats and stuff. So I think, what you have to do as a sophomore, back to like Cam Linhart or maybe Ja'Cory Barney, here's my analogy, is you could go, I always talk about if you have 2 teams, or, you could have one team that's 8-4 in year one, and a team that's maybe 6-6, 7-5. But let's go like 9-3 one year, 7-5, 6-6, 7-5, or whatever the schedule is the next year. I could make arguments that the second team is better. Now it could be circumstantial, right? Easier schedule, number one. Okay, that helps you in year one. Overly talented, senior talented, year one. Year two, it could be tougher schedule, home and away games, some calls and injuries, or you have to play a lot of freshmen. But then that third year is when it really comes all the way back to fruition. So I think the biggest thing is just that these, for Nebraska, fireworks, just because, we talked about July 4th, they got to be, I guess if we're going to, since we're talking about fireworks, what are those like the cat ones where you like just take it, and they pop or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Those pop rocks. That's just got to be what you do every game. And then you got to be able to deliver your M80s when you need it. And sometimes your M80s is just getting off the field.
Sometimes just a stop on 3rd and 7.
That's it.
Simple.
He gets 5.5 yards. See you.
Thanks for doing
There you
business. Do it again after we score a touchdown.
And the biggest thing is if you could do that, like say, here's what I think, a good test or, you want to see from Nebraska. Say they're in a game with whoever they're playing, say like Michigan or like say whoever, USC. And it's one of those games that's not very exciting, but it's good football. So it's like, couple first downs, punt, get it, same thing, back and forth. So you're just holding your head above water, but the defense is constantly giving the offense field position, right? So maybe the offense starts backed up, but then they get next time to get it at 30. Then it's like the 38-yard line. Then it's the same 35-yard line. Then they get something else, and then the dam opens, break the dam open. And the next thing you know, you take control of the game, win the game. That's the games that really shows you big growth. That's the fireworks that you want. Everybody thinks that, like, in order, granted, you needed to be explosive, but winning those type of games, that's learning how to win. And then obviously doing it under immense amount of pressure is probably the most, 4th of July and explosiveness that you need.
Do you think Nebraska can get some fireworks from tight end at all? Because I when I look at this group, I get more like workman-like vibes from Lindenmeyer, from Mac Markway, depending on his status and everything. And then Nelson obviously recovering as well. I think this is going to be a fine tight end room. I don't know if it's going to be quite the same level Husker fans have been used to. And I guess Heinrich, is in that room now too.
Heinrich's
but
in there,
that's TBD for me.
And then they got the big young redshirt freshman from Papillion, La Vista South. I think I like your description, workman-like, but I think if they take on that type of mentality and that type of mantra, workman-like every single day, but then also they should take on the mantra of being that like pesky, little cousin or something that always seems to make a play that pisses you off. Right. Like Dylan scrambling, he peels back and gets a legal block, and then Dylan gets the first down. Or they catch it, remember when Michigan against Nebraska here when they were stealing signals, I guess, 3rd down, Michigan, third down and long, Michigan kept running, essentially tight end delay for like first down, a bunch first down.
More the back breakers, the gut
yeah,
punches than the jabs.
You're not game planning for them,
Mm-hmm.
but then they become the game plan or the game changer, that position group. And they have the potential to do it different ways. They just got to figure out the role definition and execution is going to be huge for that room. And they could be explosive, efficient, and they don't need volume.
Right.
And so a workman-like mentality with, that type of production, it will be, boat a long way.
You also led this off by talking about Emmett Johnson. Backup running back is going to be fascinating. I think there's a lot of questions yet to be answered at that position. And Nebraska is going to need 1, 2, maybe even 3 guys at that position behind Emmett Johnson to make it through the 12-game schedule that they have. I'm really curious to see who steps up in that role.
Austin, Emmett's obviously the clear-cut starter, right? We had guys come in for the portal. Brown, he's down in Miami now or whatever. And then you got Quentin Ives. You got my man 35. Get his name. He's done really well. And you got a couple other freshmen. The great thing about that room is that even though Emmett is the starter, he can't take a day off.
Right.
He can't. You're the starter. But nobody they don't respect you. So now and here's what I'm saying, and it's not like a knock on Emmett. It's he hasn't had the opportunity to go out there and do it, but he's established himself as the lead dog in that room. But to get the things that you tangibly want, right? Being effective, being there, being reliable for 12 games, you got to take on the mindset that you're still competing, but you're competing against yourself and your teammates. Now that everybody else, they're looking and saying, okay, where can they start to get some carries? And it comes down to consistency for them. Emmett's shown more consistency than them, so that's why he's the starter. So really, the difference between this room, which I think can work out well because your leader has to have the same mentality as you, versus, like I said yesterday about the Alabama team, it's like Derrick Henry's in there and Jay Foreman's in there. Derrick Henry, he's on a different work schedule than me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think it could work out. Now it could be Quentin Ives. I think he's physically looks like, a Big Ten back. Now he's got to take advantage of the opportunity. Because as much as we're talking about Emmett is going to have to be great a couple games, you said it. Those backups or backup is going to have to step up a game or two as well. And it might not just be on offense. It might be kick returns or on special teams. So everybody's got a role to play. Everybody's got to play them to the maximum. But what we are going to do, our role is we're going up against the break. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Just to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here a roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School, the New School Way. We got a quick little segment here. We'll give one example each. Austin, I always think in sports history, since we were talking about fireworks, there's iconic plays. Doesn't have to be during the fourth, but iconic plays that are the equivalent of the grand finale of a fireworks show or a big, I guess M80 or whatever going off. For me, I texted you early. It's probably, like one of my first ones that I could really correlate that to, or analogy-wise, it was probably Kirk Gibson in that walk-off home run. It's an iconic play. It was at LA, I think, night game, kind of like this is the finale. He was hurt. He was kind of limping around there. Older guy. It seems like that's it. Seems like it reminds me of a wiffle ball game on 4th of July, and your uncle that was probably 10 beers deep, and he hits a home run out over the fence and told you so, and he goes back to the couch. What's yours?
I think that's a fantastic one. I would say in baseball, probably the David Freese walk-off triple for Joe Bucks. We'll see you tomorrow night. Call, I think, is Cardinals Rangers comes to mind for me. Also at Dodger Stadium, though, Freddie Freeman's walk-off grand slam. Everything that his kid was going through last year. Freddie was on the sprained ankle to come in and hit that walk-off grand slam, propel the Dodgers. That comes to mind. Basketball, I think about LeBron's chase down block on Iguodala.
Yeah, your boy.
Didn't end the game or anything, but I think that was a fireworks moment. Kawhi's off the rim 4 times, buzzer beater.
In the meme afterwards when he's just laying there? Yeah.
Just down like that.
Another day at the office.
Yeah, Chris Paul over Tim Duncan in the first round or the second round back in, what was that, 2014, I want to say. That comes to mind for me. And then in football, Probably the Colts interception off Tom Brady to ice the AFC Championship game for them to go. That comes to mind for me. I think of Andrew Luck getting that fumble from, I think it was Donald Brown.
Yeah, they played that. They replayed that game.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Against Kansas City.
They were
Biggest
down by
comeback. 28 points. Yeah, came back to win in Lucas Oil. Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
I think as well. And sorry, but 13 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he has Lance texted in Rich Strike winning the Kentucky Derby 82-1 odds. I mean,
Big Bird, yeah. Austin Rivers against Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, and then also, the Villanova forward that hit the game-winning shot against North Carolina, and Michael Jordan.
Chris Jenkins.
And Michael Jordan tipped the hat.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are the iconic plays in history that kind of fit the analogy of 4th of July. The other ones where we need some more text in. We got to about what your favorite 4th of July, I guess, memory or slash what you're going to grub on this weekend. I think one of my fondest memories ever in my life is 4th of July. I was living in Frederick, Maryland with my, I was living there, and then and I was just started middle school, and we went to Thomas Johnson at high school, and so they had a big field, and they had basketball courts out there, and went out there with my family or whatever. In Austin, I might have been just in grade school, going 5th to 6th grade, and we played pickup basketball probably till like 11 o'clock at night.
Woo!
Barely watched fireworks. They had everything you want, put some people on the grill, and that was one of my fondest things. Is like, and then I got popsicles at the end. I was with my grandfather and my grandma, and that was probably one of my fondest memories.
Popsicles on a stick or out of the plastic tube?
Out of a stick.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, it was cool. It was hot too, man. So that was, you play forever because I got to play with some older kids, and so that's one of my fondest memories on the 4th of July.
Nice.
And so then I think the next day, then family came over. They threw down on the grill and stuff too. So we got my man unknown texter 8718. He has smoked bacon wrapped shrimp.
Hit me with it.
You can't beat that.
No, I'm about it.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Mm-hmm.
Eric says my buddy has 5 pork butts on the smoker for tomorrow. One for me. I like this, Eric. He said, 1 for me to take home and freeze. Love me some pulled pork. I hear you. He said, He said, listen, I know you were going to cook 4, but just threw another one on there. I need one to take home for later on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 for everyone else, 1 for Eric. And Eric will probably eat a whole one on his own.
Yeah.
Before he takes the one home.
Yeah.
Which I respect. Is pork butt easy to cook? Does that take some TLC? How do you do pork butt?
There's plenty of ways. You just gotta. I think you can season it.
You gotta season your meat.
Yeah, you gotta season it. Yeah, you gotta go to Mercado too, get you one to get your pork butt. I mean, I think you just season it, and then now these smokers and stuff are so electronic. You just got to get it the right temperature, and it's good though too, man. Pulled pork is something that it's grown on me. The hardest thing I think to smoke, and I think it's not even hard to do it, but it's time consuming, is a brisket.
Lincoln Riley took too much time to do his brisket.
But I have a feeling Lincoln Riley didn't smoke his. He ordered it from somewhere that didn't know what they were doing.
When you see a brisket like that, do you think that they left it on too long, or they did it too high too quick and checked it too late?
It's either one. Well, if you leave it on too long and it's a lower temperature, it comes out fine. But I think
that's what I'm saying, higher temperature, because that was gray.
Yeah, it didn't have any of the. I watch on TikTok, and they have the squeeze test. Then yeah, didn't have any red trim. That thing was well done. But I think that's the hardest thing to cook, and I don't think really that's a 4th of July. Well, it depends if you have a lot of people over. I mean, it's a 4th of July, but that's time. I mean, that's 16 hours. That means you got to get up in the middle of the night. That's a commitment.
Dedication. Next level.
Listen, and if I'm dedicated that much and you got your kids over, you better eat all that brisket. Because how some kids eat one bite and then they're off running around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we taking that leftovers. Yeah,
Mine now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mind, body, and soul are in that. But obviously, ribs are going to be abound. Bratwurst and all that. I will tell you this for ticket listeners out there: keep texting in what you're going to be grubbing on here either tonight, tomorrow, or throughout the weekend. I have a new burger recipe.
Whoa!
I shouldn't even be telling.
Whoa! Okay.
I shouldn't tell nobody. But you know what?
Does this include the egg as a binder?
You can do that.
But do you in your new recipe?
I do always.
Okay,
Not always, but I do.
Okay.
Not necessarily in this one. I'm never gonna give out our barbecue sauce.
No.
I'm telling you, boy, it's hitting like Jackie Chan. It's kicking like Jackie Chan.
Sweet and smoky.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good. My dad does it perfect. I was ascending,
Mm-hmm.
and along when I put too much blue cheese in my macaroni and cheese, now I'm on my way back up. But here's how I do it. I get me now. There's two ways I think you can do it on 4th of July. Just kind of depends on who you're serving.
Mm-hmm.
Generally for the kids, they probably get the 80-20.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't, but you get your ground beef, in there, and then you get cheese, but you got to have it cubed. Follow with me now.
Okay.
Cubed. And then some people like onions. You dice up your onions and put in your cube. Put your cheese in there.
How many sides does a cube have, Jay?
6.
6.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a guess. I was gonna say 4, but there's no way. But so you get your cheese, you cube. You put it all in there. You put the ground beef. You can do binder with an egg, Worcestershire sauce, or whatever you want. Put that in there. Whatever your binder is. Ground beef, cube cheese, and then you get bratwurst. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's ground beef and sausage.
Yeah. In there. And then you
Ah.
get it in there, and then you make it. And here's how you get the right amount, because you're going to I like this recipe kind of making with smash. I've made it regular, but also a smash burger.
Mm.
But let's do smash burgers.
Mhm.
You get it. So then you get your measuring cup, 1 cup measuring thing.
Okay.
So you just take a handful, put a cup in there. There's your patties. Easy. See, I'm making it efficient for you.
I like that.
Then you got them all there. Then you
Uh-huh.
take your, if you have you got to put the little paper down and put the smash on. Then you put it on. You can put it on a charcoal grill, or you can put it on a Blackstone. Hey, and here's why you.
What kind of cheese?
This one.
Dealer's choice.
Yes, but
Okay.
cheddar. And you read it.
Mild or sharp?
Sharp.
Sharp.
Everything sharp. Listen, here's the thing.
I just want to make sure.
Here's the thing. The cube will melt down slower. So that's why you can still put it on a gas grill or a charcoal grill. And then obviously a flour.
Yeah, because the slice is so thin. That's just going to.
Yeah. But then also when you do it now, okay, now we put
Going next level here?
Oh, then you put your cheese on there at the very end.
Okay.
And then if you didn't put onions in your patty, you can put the onions on whatever you want after that. And then you make your own kind of like mayo. You put mayo, a little relish in there, a little paprika, a little cayenne pepper for a little bit, and then you put it in there. That man, I'm getting hyped right now.
I can tell.
Yeah,
you're salivating.
Yeah. I got dinosaur ribs ready to go. I got the big ones.
So you got to take me back. My one question is, what do you do to the bratwurst to combine it in the burger? You just chop it up?
No, well, bratwurst usually come with that.
The casing.
Yeah, cut it open.
Ah.
You got to get in there and get your hands dirty. Also, you got to get in there.
Mhm.
You got to wash your hands first. Like you get in there, like you scrub it in to do surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or you wear gloves, whatever you want to do. You got to get in there. You got to get in there,
Is it a 1-to-1
massage your
ratio of ground beef to bratwurst?
No, it's probably
More ground beef?
More ground beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do
So for every pound
of ground beef,
you put in a bratwurst.
Oh,
generally.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I make a lot of hamburgers.
Would it be doing too much to use the brats with a little cheese in them already?
You could. It wouldn't be doing too much, but you got to have the cubes, man.
Yeah.
You got to have the cubes.
The cubes.
Yes.
Of
the
sharp
cube.
cheddar.
Yes. Get you the block and cut them in cubes. Listen, if you want to be a grill master, and I know my man Dell.
Curry?
In Lincoln.
Mm.
Oh, I got something. I wish Wardell Sr. and Steph was listening. I got something for you. But Dell here in Lincoln, man, he's a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. I don't see him as much because I used to see him like when I used to go early workout, but he goes later. He's probably, let's just say, of all the amateur grillers in Lincoln, the grill master.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we don't have brick and mortar and all that stuff. He's number one. When you are a champion griller, you can always tip your hat to the GOAT. My man can grill. My man can smoke and grill bologna.
Hello.
And it is hitting.
Hello.
Yes.
Huh.
And he loves to cook, and he comes through like a champion. He's taught me some stuff. I've texted him back. So Dell, if you're listening, I know you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I know you ain't recovered since the Philadelphia Eagles knocked their head open to the white meat. But he's going to be getting down like Charlie Brown on that grill that I can almost guarantee he's cooking right now.
Get it, Dell.
Yeah.
Augie says he's smoking some turkey breast ribs and whatever else his friends bring over. Would you rather smoke turkey or chicken? Talking about busting heads open to the white meat. Turkey or chicken?
I'm a chicken guy. But turkey's good.
I feel like turkey's pretty difficult to pull off.
I wouldn't know. I've never done turkey.
Just from my experience eating it.
The only experience I got is on Thanksgiving. And that just puts you to sleep.
All heads?
Too bad.
Too bad.
Quick, too.
Immediately.
Yeah. You don't even try to wear no jeans and no dress pants. I'm going straight sweatpants. But yeah, turkey's good. I ain't mad
I
at
like
you.
it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't mad at you. And then if people bring stuff, that's all good.
Turkey's my favorite deli meat.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm not mad at ham. I like ham, but
pastrami. I like pastrami.
Ooh, big pastrami guy.
Not much around here though, but yeah, I like turkey. I like the low sodium turkey. I like cracked pepper on my stuff. I like mine with those pizzazz to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, 4th of July is it's a I like I don't get into the whole meanings of the holidays. I just like the
grub.
Being around people that you like hanging around with. All the stuff that I remember as a kid, going out obviously these kids don't go out in backyards anymore, but being out there was like family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time my dad in 4th of July he not tested I wasn't a man then, but he tested me though. Because he was when he first started to he didn't let me play. Well, he wasn't going to let me play football. I snuck and played football. I did good. And everybody heard about it. So then he was like, "Can you catch?" Right?
Yeah.
I'm like 5th, 6th grade. I'm like, "Yeah, I can catch, man."
A couple more texts here on the grilling. Kurt in Northern Kentucky said, I did the burgers on the grill last night with cheese in the middle. Amazing. Smoking brisket for our 4th party. Half is going to go toward burnt ends. And then, Jay, I need you to pull up the text line and look at the most recent text from Claytonia John.
Hey, the burnt ends. I'm going to tell you.
Oh, I'm a burnt ends fan.
Yes.
Yes.
It tastes, burnt ends taste so much better when somebody else got to bake them.
That part. Amen. Amen.
Let me see what Claytonia John did on Father's Day. I got an old computer, man. I got to upgrade. Hey, man, we got any people who got computer companies? I got to upgrade. I got to make a couple purchases. You don't have to worry about it now. Hey, I ain't even online.
What?
I am, but then it keeps kicking me off. My computer. This is the heaviest.
If you need to come over here and take a look at it, you got it.
I got it right now.
That was his Father's Day meal.
What?
Gator.
Man. That's for real.
Full thing. Yeah. Claytonia John went in.
Yeah, that's the real deal. Claytonia John, was it good? You ever had Gator?
I have had Gator.
You have?
I have.
I've seen him cooking it on like TikTok and stuff.
It tasted fine. I'm sure the people I got it from weren't experts in cooking Gator. I would love to know how, like, Gator gets cooked down south because it was fine.
Yeah,
I'd go back and have it
think
again. But
I think they do. He said it was a delicious. The cheek meat, the cheek meat is in the tail. I have seen that.
Interesting.
I've seen this guy down here. He fries everything, but I think they put a lot of like Creole and all that, and and if you do it right, it's good. Now, Clintonio, I wish we knew somebody that's ever had, or first of all, caught or eaten gar. You seen those fish? They look like dinosaurs.
Yeah, funky looking things. Yeah.
But they say it's good eating. Cheek meat and cheek meat. Yeah. Gator. If you ain't a gator, you gator bait. All right, Clintonio, John, you the man now. We're gonna take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this pre-July 4th. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
4th of July weekend is coming soon, and you know what that means. Grilling season. You know what's more embarrassing than an overcooked piece of meat? A dirty, disgusting, and grimy grill. Let the pros at Husker Grill Cleaning get you ready for grilling season. They'll take your grill apart piece by piece, scrub every inch, and reassemble your grill so it can look and perform its best. Visit their website, huskergrillcleaning.com today to schedule your appointment. Husker Grill Cleaning, serving Lincoln, Omaha, Malcolm, and more.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still, though, have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
Citizen soldier and veterans of the Army National Guard, you are invited to celebrate the 3rd of July at the Roca Tavern for a free concert by Sean Cole and the Drunk Monkeys. It all starts at 8 p.m. and it's sponsored by the City Car Wash on 3rd and Main in Hickman.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. One more segment before we get our 4th of July started, because we will not be on tomorrow. Man, I still can't believe my man had Gator, though. That looked pretty sweet.
Gator don't play.
No. And I heard it's good, though.
Mm-hmm. I had fried gator when I had it, so
Yeah.
probably not the same, but it's fine. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I think now the only good thing about social media, not the only, I mean, if you use it right, social media, you can learn to cook a lot of things that you normally wouldn't be able to make. I like it, though, man. I mean, I haven't had it yet. I wouldn't hesitate to have it. You know? There's a lot of food that I've seen people eat and stuff like that. I just haven't been able to eat yet.
What's tops on your list of, I got to try this? Maybe not cook it yourself, but bucket list foods for you.
I've had everything that's essentially bucket list, but I just haven't had I haven't had like the gar and stuff like that. Stuff that I've seen on the internet. I haven't had alligator. I'd probably say something like that, but I would not eat frogs though.
Really?
Frogs, no.
I feel like there's not much meat on frogs.
The big ones, them big ones they eat. I just don't like the way frogs look.
They're weird.
Yeah. And I go back and forth. I wish we had more time for the text line, is that I've been seeing a lot. Now, first of all, I know in certain parts of the world, they eat carp like it's
on the regular.
Mm-hmm. But I've seen more people in North America, or just obviously, just assuming that they're in North America, really debuting that you can't eat carp. This one guy, he's a really cool guy. He's out in California. And he came over from Vietnam and all this other stuff. And he's like, Americans don't eat carp. They don't understand carp eats. They eat vegetables. It's good fish. The dude interviewed him. Just was awkward silence. Like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah. The carp is the first big fish I ever saw. And I thought I was, catching a shark. I was a little kid and, fishing up in Minnesota. So northern pike is good. I'm gonna tell you one thing that's on my bucket list. That's to catch a muskie. They're real finicky, and it's either hit or miss. I have a friend of mine up in Minnesota. His name is Brandon Lawhead. Every time I look on the internet, or every time he goes fishing, like during the fall, he catches a muskie and catches multiple of them. I know people that consider themselves probably I know for a fact they're better fishermen than me. They go fishing all the time. They got ice houses and all that. They haven't caught one. Matter of fact, this dude named Benji Hadorf hasn't caught one. He's one of the first people I met in Minnesota. He still hasn't caught one. This dude goes and catches them just like, and then he just goes home. It's like, yeah, I caught one.
Another day at the office.
Yeah, another day at the office. or it's the same people or same picture and he keeps recycling it. But either way, I'd probably catch a muskie. And the only reason I say that is because when I was playing in Buffalo, and one of the first autograph signing that I remember, big one I did with my dad, was down in the Minneapolis Convention Center, kind of like almost like an outskirts of downtown. So my dad was like, all right, man, I'm pick you up at the airport. We'll get some lunch and we'll go. And, then I was there for a while. And I'm like, man, and it was a fishing, like a, there was boats and everything. I mean, it was like, you go in there, it's the same place they did the NFL experience. It was like, I was like, yo, people are crazy. Well, where we signed had our booth it was next to all the biggest like displays, like they took up the most space, was all these people that had, lures and all this stuff that was supposed to help people catch muskies. And I was thinking to myself, just like the Duck Dynasty, if you could come up with one that actually sometimes worked or looked like it worked, you'd be a gazillionaire. Because if there's that many to catch a muskie, that means none of them are working.
None of them.
Yeah. But the line was long. And it was great for us because once they would leave there, they would come and, they were paying for autographs. So we broke bread off it. But I thought to myself, and that's when I realized that, catching a muskie was hard.
Problem for you too is that your boy catches them during the fall. That's football season.
Yeah, I'd still go up there on a bye week, but I'm afraid if I go up there, then we both won't catch one. Yeah. My dad did. You remember Kent Herbeck?
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad, he won't ever admit it, but it's kind of like when YouTube first came out, and then it was a local like outdoors channel, up in Minnesota. So they had it. And Kent Herbeck is a outdoorsman and among other things. So him and my dad are pretty cool. So he had my dad out on this fishing boat. It was fall. It was windy. My dad almost fell in the lake. I would die.
Man.
I was dying. Because I was asking him, because my dad, he get all the talk junk. So I was asking him on the phone, it's like, hey, what channel is on or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh man, don't worry about it. It wasn't really that good. He almost fell in. And so he ain't catch nothing. So anyways, good fond memory from July 4th. Hope everybody is safe and obviously, partake in whatever you can. And partake with good people. And we'll be talking to you next week. Jay Foreman from our main man, Austin Oerman. We're old school, the new school way. We'll holler at you next week.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402